Welcome to the Intelligence Test channel. Today we have prepared 110 questions that will test your biblical knowledge. The test will start with easy questions, but as the test progresses, the questions will become more difficult. Each question will present 4 answer options, and you will have 5 seconds to think and choose the correct answer. With that said, let's begin. Which of the following biblical characters was not a prophet? Elijah, Jeremiah, David, or Isaiah? The correct answer is option C, David. Which animal did the devil use to convince Eve and Adam to disobey God? Unicorn, snake, dove, or donkey? The correct answer is option B, snake. What is the name of Adam and Eve's son who killed his own brother out of envy? Abel, Seth, Enoch, or Cain? The correct answer is option D, Cain. What is the name of the city where Jesus was born? Jerusalem, Nazareth, Bethlehem, or Jericho? The correct answer is option C, Bethlehem. How many plagues did God send to punish the Egyptians for enslaving the Hebrews? 12 plagues, 7 plagues, 5 plagues, or 10 plagues? The correct answer is option D, 10 plagues. What were the 2 foods that Jesus multiplied in one of his miracles? Loaves and grapes, fish and dates, loaves and fishes, or fruits and grains? The correct answer is option C, loaves and fishes. Which musical instrument did David like to play? Flute, harp, drum, or zither? The correct answer is option B, harp. How many apostles did Jesus have? 11 apostles, 13 apostles, 10 apostles, or 12 apostles? The correct answer is option D, 12 apostles. Where was Jesus placed when he was born? In a bed, in a cradle, in a manger, or in a cave? The correct answer is option C, in a manger. What is the name of the Philistine warrior who challenged the army of Israel to single combat? Goliath, Dagon, Abimelech, or Samson? The correct answer is option A, Goliath. Who defeated the Philistine warrior known as Goliath? Saul, Samuel, David, or Joshua? The correct answer is option C, David. According to the Bible, what was the first miracle that Jesus performed? Healing a blind man, multiplying the loaves and fishes, raising Lazarus from the dead, or turning water into wine? The correct answer is option D, turning water into wine. Which of the women listed below became famous for betraying Samson? Delilah, Rebecca, Esther, or Ruth? The correct answer is option A, Delilah. Who built the ark to survive the flood? Moses, Abraham, Noah, or Isaac? The correct answer is option C, Noah. Who was the strongest man mentioned in the Bible? David, Goliath, Samson, or Saul? The correct answer is option C, Samson. Who was thrown into the lion's den but came out unharmed due to his faith in God? Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, or Elisha? The correct answer is option A, Daniel. What is the last book of the Bible? Jude, Revelation, James, or Hebrews? The correct answer is option B, Revelation. What is the name of the disciple who walked on water with Jesus? John, Thomas, James, or Peter? The correct answer is option D, Peter. Who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver? Judas Thaddeus, Joseph of Arimathea, Judas Iscariot, or Pontius Pilate? The correct answer is option C, Judas Iscariot. Who led the people of Israel out of Egypt and across the Red Sea? Joshua, Samuel, David, or Moses? The correct answer is option D, Moses. Who led the people of Israel after the death of Moses? Joshua, Aaron, Caleb, or Gideon? The correct answer is option A, Joshua. What is the name of David's son who rebelled against him and tried to take the throne of Israel? Absalom, Adonijah, Amnon, or Solomon? The correct answer is option A, Absalom. Which of these prophets had a vision of a valley full of dry bones? Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, or Daniel? The correct answer is option A, Ezekiel. Which apostle wrote the book of Revelation? Apostle Peter, Apostle Paul, Apostle James, or Apostle John? The correct answer is option D, Apostle John. Who was the first person to see the resurrected Jesus? Peter, John, Mary Magdalene, or Joseph of Arimathea? The correct answer is option C, Mary Magdalene. Who built the first temple in Jerusalem? David, Solomon, Josiah, or Hezekiah? The correct answer is option B, Solomon. Who fled to Midian after killing an Egyptian? Moses, Elijah, David, or Joshua? The correct answer is option A, Moses. Who was the leader of Israel who led the people into the Promised Land? Joshua, Caleb, Moses, or Aaron? The correct answer is option A, Joshua. What is the name of Samuel's mother, the barren woman who prayed fervently for a child? Abigail, Hannah, Esther, or Rebecca? The correct answer is option B, Hannah. What is the shortest gospel in the Bible? Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John? The correct answer is option B, Mark. What is the name of the man who helped Jesus carry the cross? Simon of Cyrene, Joseph of Arimathea, Nicodemus, or Bartimaeus? The correct answer is option A, Simon of Cyrene. What is the name of Moses' brother who was the first high priest of Israel? Joshua, Aaron, Caleb, or Eleazar? The correct answer is option B, Aaron. In which of the following cities did Jesus perform his first miracle? Jerusalem, Nazareth, Capernaum, or Cana? The correct answer is option D, Cana. Which apostle was a tax collector before following Jesus? Peter, John, James, or Matthew? The correct answer is option D, Matthew. What is the name of the people that Moses freed from slavery in Egypt? Moabites, Amalekites, Hebrews, or Canaanites? The correct answer is option C, Hebrews. Which king had a dream about a statue made of different metals? Nebuchadnezzar, Darius, Cyrus, or Herod? The correct answer is option A, Nebuchadnezzar. Which prophet was fed by ravens during a period of drought in Israel? Prophet Elijah, Prophet Elisha, Prophet Isaiah, or Prophet Jeremiah? The correct answer is option A, Prophet Elijah. By what name is the soldier who pierced Jesus with a spear known? Longinus, Cornelius, Lucius, or Tiberius? The correct answer is option A, Longinus. In which river was Jesus baptized? Nile River, Jordan River, Euphrates River, or Tigris River? The correct answer is option B, Jordan River. What are the names of the first two disciples Jesus called while walking by the Sea of Galilee? Peter and John, James and John, Peter and Andrew, or Philip and Bartholomew? The correct answer is option C, Peter and Andrew. Which of the women listed below is Solomon's mother? Bathsheba, Abigail, Esther, or Deborah? The correct answer is option A, Bathsheba. Who was the prophet that called down fire from heaven? Prophet Isaiah, Prophet Elisha, Prophet Jeremiah, or Prophet Elijah? The correct answer is option D, Prophet Elijah. What is the name of the desert where Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights fasting and praying? Sinai Desert, Judean Desert, Galilean Desert, or Judean Desert? The correct answer is option D, Judean Desert. Who had a dream of 7 lean cows devouring 7 fat cows? Joseph, Pharaoh, Daniel, or Nebuchadnezzar? The correct answer is option B, Pharaoh. Who interpreted Pharaoh's dreams in Egypt? Moses, Joseph, Daniel, or Aaron? The correct answer is option B, Joseph. Which book of the Bible talks about the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem? Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, or Ruth? The correct answer is option B, Nehemiah. Who wrote most of the letters in the New Testament? John, Peter, James, or Paul? The correct answer is option D, Paul. What was the original name of the Apostle Paul? Saul, Silas, Timothy, or Barnabas? The correct answer is option A, Saul. Which woman became queen and saved her people from destruction? Esther, Ruth, Deborah, or Sarah? The correct answer is option A, Esther. What is the name of John the Baptist's mother? Mary, Elizabeth, Martha, or Salome? The correct answer is option B, Elizabeth. Who was called a friend of God in the Bible? Moses, Abraham, David, or Paul? The correct answer is option B, Abraham. Who was Jacob's first wife, as described in the book of Genesis? Rachel, Leah, Bilhah, or Zilpah? The correct answer is option B, Leah. Who was described in the Bible as a righteous, upright, and patient man in the midst of suffering? Job, Jeremiah, Paul, or Isaiah? The correct answer is option A, Job. Who was the first Christian martyr? James, Peter, Stephen, or John? The correct answer is option C, Stephen. Who had a dream of a very tall ladder that reached from the earth to heaven? Joseph, Abraham, Jacob, or Isaac? The correct answer is option C, Jacob. Who was called a man after God's own heart? Abraham, Moses, David, or Paul? The correct answer is option C, David. What is the name of the judge who trusted God and defeated the great army of the Midianites with only 300 men by his side? Samson, Jephthah, Gideon, or Deborah? The correct answer is option C, Gideon. Which is the longest psalm in the Bible? Psalm 23, Psalm 108, Psalm 93, or Psalm 119? The correct answer is option D, Psalm 119. Who wrote most of the Psalms? David, Solomon, Moses, or Asaph? The correct answer is option A, David. Who had a vision of a hand holding a scroll? Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel, or Ezekiel? The correct answer is option D, Ezekiel. Who was the king of Israel during the Babylonian captivity? Zedekiah, Solomon, Saul, or David? The correct answer is option A, Zedekiah. Which prophet is considered the author of the Book of Lamentations? Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, or Daniel? The correct answer is option B, Jeremiah. Who saw the burning bush in the desert? Elijah, Moses, Joshua, or Abraham? The correct answer is option B, Moses. What is the name of John the Baptist's father? Peter, Zechariah, James, or Philip? The correct answer is option B, Zechariah. Who wrote the pastoral epistles? Peter, John, James, or Paul? The correct answer is option D, Paul. In what language was the Old Testament originally written? Greek, Latin, Hebrew, or Aramaic? The correct answer is option C, Hebrew. What sign did God give to Noah to show that he would no longer destroy the earth with a flood? An earthquake, a rainbow, a comet, or a bright star? The correct answer is option B, a rainbow. Who was called by God while still a boy, while serving in the temple with the priest Eli? Samuel, David, Solomon, or Josiah? The correct answer is option A, Samuel. What is the name of Abraham's son he had with an Egyptian slave named Hagar? Isaac, Jacob, Ishmael, or Esau? The correct answer is option C, Ishmael. Who was known as the preacher in the book of Ecclesiastes? David, Solomon, Isaiah, or Jeremiah? The correct answer is option B, Solomon. What is the name of Moses' father-in-law? Caleb, Jethro, Abner, or Joshua? The correct answer is option B, Jethro. What is the name of the Syrian army general who had leprosy and was healed by Elisha? Naaman, Ben-Hadad, Hazael, or Jehu? The correct answer is option A, Naaman. How many commandments did God write on the tablets of the law? 5 commandments, 7 commandments, 10 commandments, or 12 commandments? The correct answer is option C, 10 commandments. What is the name of the queen who refused to appear before King Xerxes? Esther, Vashti, Deborah, or Ruth? The correct answer is option B, Vashti. What is the name of David's father? Jesse, Boaz, Naomi, or Samuel? The correct answer is option A, Jesse. Who was the king of Israel when the nation divided into 2 kingdoms? Solomon, Rehoboam, Jeroboam, or Asa? The correct answer is option B, Rehoboam. Who was the only one of the 12 spies who believed that Israel could conquer the land of Canaan? Joshua, Caleb, Aaron, or Moses? The correct answer is option B, Caleb. What is the name of the man who disobeyed God and was swallowed by a fish? Isaiah, Daniel, Jonah, or Elijah? The correct answer is option C, Jonah. Who is the father of King Solomon among the kings listed below? King Saul, King David, King Hezekiah, or King Josiah? The correct answer is option B, King David. Which apostle denied Jesus 3 times before the rooster crowed? Apostle John, Apostle James, Apostle Peter, or Apostle Andrew? The correct answer is option C, Apostle Peter. How many people entered Noah's Ark to escape the flood? 13 people, 8 people, 7 people, or 12 people? The correct answer is option B, 8 people. Who was the first king of Israel among the kings listed below? King David, King Saul, King Solomon, or King Josiah? The correct answer is option B, King Saul. Which of these biblical characters was sold as a slave by his own brothers? Joseph, Moses, David, or Jacob? The correct answer is option A, Joseph. Who led the Israelites in the conquest of the city of Jericho? Moses, Joshua, Gideon, or David? The correct answer is option B, Joshua. Who was turned into a pillar of salt? Noah's wife, Lot's wife, Abraham's wife, or Moses' wife? The correct answer is option B, Lot's wife. Who was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind? Elijah, Moses, Elisha, or Enoch? The correct answer is option A, Elijah. How many days did God take to create the world and everything in it? 3 days, 6 days, 7 days, or 5 days? The correct answer is option B, 6 days. What is the name of the prophet who confronted David about his sin with Bathsheba? Nathan, Elijah, Samuel, or Isaiah? The correct answer is option A, Nathan. Which king saw a hand writing on the wall during a banquet? Nebuchadnezzar, Darius, Cyrus, or Belshazzar? The correct answer is option D, Belshazzar. How long did Moses and the Hebrew people stay in the desert while on their way to the Promised Land? 40 years, 40 months, 40 weeks, or 40 days? The correct answer is option A, 40 years. Which king asked God for wisdom to govern justly? King Saul, King David, King Hezekiah, or King Solomon? The correct answer is option D, King Solomon. Jochebed is the mother of which biblical character? Moses, Joshua, Samuel, or David? The correct answer is option A, Moses. What is the name of the apostle who doubted Jesus' resurrection and only believed after seeing the nail marks? Peter, James, Thomas, or John? The correct answer is option C, Thomas. Who was the only woman in the Bible to hold the office of judge and leader of Israel? Esther, Abigail, Ruth, or Deborah? The correct answer is option D, Deborah. Who was the first son of Adam and Eve? Abel, Cain, Seth, or Enoch? The correct answer is option B, Cain. What is the name of Abraham and Sarah's son known as the son of the promise? Ishmael, Esau, Jacob, or Isaac? The correct answer is option D, Isaac. What was the name of the king of Judah who asked God for 15 additional years of life? Hezekiah, Manasseh, Josiah, or Asa? The correct answer is option A, Hezekiah. Which of these disciples of Jesus is known as the disciple whom Jesus loved? Peter, James, John, or Andrew? The correct answer is option C, John. Which of the following women was the wife of Isaac and mother of Jacob and Esau? Sarah, Rachel, Leah, or Rebekah? The correct answer is option D, Rebekah. Which of the following biblical characters is known as the father of faith? Moses, Abraham, David, or Solomon? The correct answer is option B, Abraham. To which prophet did God give the tablets containing the 10 Commandments? Elijah, Isaiah, Moses, or Jeremiah? The correct answer is option C, Moses. Where was the prophet Moses when he received the tablets with the 10 Commandments? On Mount Sinai, at the Jordan River, on Mount Calvary, or in the Judean desert? The correct answer is option A, on Mount Sinai. What is the name of Samson's father? Manoah, Gideon, Elkanah, or Samuel? The correct answer is option A, Manoah. What was David's profession before becoming king? Blacksmith, shepherd, merchant, or carpenter? The correct answer is option B, shepherd. Who was the judge who made a rash vow that resulted in the sacrifice of his daughter? Gideon, Jephthah, Samson, or Samuel? The correct answer is option B, Jephthah. Who wrote the book of Acts? Paul, John, Luke, or Peter? The correct answer is option C, Luke. Among the sons Jacob had, which one did he love the most? Reuben, Judah, Joseph, or Benjamin? The correct answer is option C, Joseph. What is the name of the woman who risked her life by hiding the Israelite spies in her house? Deborah, Rahab, Esther, or Abigail? The correct answer is option B, Rahab. What is the last chapter of the Bible? Matthew 24, Revelation 21, John 21, or Revelation 22? The correct answer is option D, Revelation 22. In one of the parables, which seed did Jesus say the kingdom of heaven was like? Mustard seed, pumpkin seed, corn seed, or bean seed? The correct answer is option A, mustard seed. How many questions did you get right? Leave your answer in the comments, and don't forget to share the video with people who believe in God, and would like to increase their knowledge of the Bible. That's all for today, but there's still much more to come.